It's late night, so this is me late night. PJs, I got a sweater, and tonight I thought we'd do something a little bit different. And I have some different kits that I have made that have come up with different squares. Like this one, where I've made one square, and I'm going to be using my own yarn, and I'm going to continue to use my yarn to make this little pouch. Then I also have, I showed you a little while back the Hill Folk, and I used their yarn to make this square. So I think I'm going to use my own yarn to make this square. And then, I can't pick up this box. I got this for Christmas a little while back, and I've been making them squares. It came with this book. Here's the Granny Square book. And I do have some of them made. The yarn that was given to me. We can make some of these squares. And the ones I'm making have the flower in the center. And I'm using these little handcraft, these little yarns to make, and like this Myra handcrafts. You know, all these little bitty yarns that I have to make more granny squares, to make more of these squares. The little bitty blanket, a bunch of squares, make a tiny blanket. But we would do some kit squares, and it's just a little bit something different to do tonight. Although I have seen several different people do the blindfold challenge. I haven't done that yet, but I will do that soon. Maybe this weekend I will do the blindfold granny square challenge. I haven't decided yet. I'm moving you. I apologize. Okay, there. That might be a little better. So, also, we're still in August, but I think next year I'm going to start making these for you, like having tutorials for each day, each month. I think that would be fun. In September, they're going to start showing you the different stitches. Then in October, there's more stitches. Then November, it looked like they were doing, some of them were stitches and some of them looked like they were edgings. So that's cool. Nani May! There's my buddy Nani May. Hi, Nani. Oh, Tony. Tony. She always likes to sing about Tony. He's our man. He can do it. Nobody can. We love you too, Miss Nani May. You're the best. You are such a sweetie. So tonight, well, Nani already has like a gazillion granny squares, and if I live next door, I'd help her put them all together to make a most wonderful blanket. No, but Tony, I was thinking about I don't know how old you are, but the song "The Name Game," it goes Tony, Mamoni, me, my Mamoni, Tony, or something like that, to that effect. Tonight, and back to Noni. If I lived next door, I would help her put them all together to make a gorgeous blanket. You're eating your house, girlfriend. That's cool. You can come to my place anytime. But Noni, maybe you and I could take turns. One night it's your night, and next night it's your night. That kind of thing. That would be cool. I don't have any, like, I don't have Restream, or I forget the name of the other one, but sorry, where it came from. Maybe sometime I could come up to your channel, because I don't know how to do it on YouTube, because I don't have the streaming services yet. But but tonight, to go along with all of her little grannies, um, I have like three different kits here that have different grannies. This one I started about a month or so ago. That I bought from Five and Below, and I made one of the squares from my yarn because the yarn that it came with was not gonna do it. There was not enough yarn to make anything, and so I'm making it. So we're gonna make some more of the squares to make this little pouch. I had showed this on my videos a little while back too. You have to go back and look. There is a video where I talk about the yarn. I still have some of the yarns left from making one square. This is one square, but I want to use some of my own yarns to make some more of these. This is from the Hill Folk. You get these Hill Folk projects from Walmart. They have crochet. They have knitting, I believe, and they have all sorts of kits. They even have macrame. They had macrame. Some of you are old enough to remember macrame. Um, so, crochet. I am a person who crochets. Tony, I kind of tried StreamYard, but when I went to get into it, it kept wanting, and I made sure it was StreamYard, the real StreamYard. It kept wanting to ask my information, and I was like, no, I am not about to give you my information. No, I am not about that. Now, I haven't looked up Restream yet to see how they do. I mean, I've seen people use Restream, but I haven't looked up the app yet to see how that works. Well, thank you for the hearts. I love the hearts. Thank you. That's another thing I think is neat about Restream and StreamYard. You know, they do things like the heart thing, or they do like this and the little. I don't have all that neat gadgety stuff. I guess I'm having FOMO. Fear of missing out. um, Noni raid! Yay, Rainbow! Yes, have a Noni raid. Yes, please don't forget to give the thumbs up, like, comment, share, subscribe, and everybody, if you're blue, you can put your link in and go and subscribe to them as well, because Noni says that about on hers for everybody who's blue. So yeah, okay. Now, I've actually started my second square for this one, which is from the Five and Below, this cool crochet pouch. Now, I mean, they do have, let's say, find videos, and it comes with those little, of course, kits always come with those little plastic hooks. So that's what I'm using. That's the one I used with this. And just to be fair, the other thing I don't like is the yarns tend to catch on it, because there is, I don't know what kind of what they got on here, but they have something written on here, and it keeps catching on it. But I thought, to be fair, we should use the hook that it came with. I think it was this one. No, it was this one. Yes, this was the one that because it kept catching on the sides. This is the hook that it came with. Ha! What I was saying is that it uses the magic circle. Can I put my toe up too? What, Noni? You're just too funny. Put your thumbs and your toes. Sure. Put all your thumbs and toes up on all your devices. Um, anyway, so I like to start with a chain 4 and then slip stitch, and then you're gonna do, I think it's a 12. I have to look at my instructions. Or my dad's like this instructions. Oh, it does have really good instructions, by the way. It also gives you a list of abbreviations, which is nice for those who are. It's very, very beginner friendly because it even shows how, what they look like and everything, which I think is really good. That's probably one of the better things about this little booklet. For those who don't know how to do it, they give some really, really nice pictures on how to do the different stitches. Okay. Yes. Okay, yeah. Because you're making a daisy square. They call it a daisy square. And they do in the magic ring. I don't like magic ring. So I do the chain 4. Because I can never get the chain. Sometimes I can get the magic circle to cooperate, but most of the time I can't get the magic circle to cooperate. And so I just do the chain 4 because otherwise I just go nuts. Anyway, if you do your magic circle, you're going to do 12 half double crochets in the ring and then a slip stitch. And then you're going to single crochet in the next stitch, and you're going to do a single crochet on top of the half double crochets all the way around to the slip, and then you're going to slip stitch into this to the first single. Now I got to change colors. Now the first one I did a white flower, but I think this time I'm going to make a pink flower. Still not designed for idiots like me. You are not, Tony, stop it. You are not an idiot. Don't do that. But I do gotta snap that off. Grab my next yellow down. I am going to use yellow for my centers, so I think I'm going, like, in this kit, they use the same, I am using, I couldn't find the original color I picked, but I did find a color that was similar. I am going to use this for this part, and then I'm going to use it yellow for the center. But I think instead of using the same color for each flower, I'm going to use a different color for each flower. And this one, for this little pouch, you have to make 5 daisies. And then one of the things it shows in the back for this little pouch, you see they show you 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the 5th one. And so it's like in an envelope. And then they even, they explain how to sew them together and everything, how to do all the crochet, all the okay, I can't talk. And this is how to make the handle, which is basically a chain, and then you go back and forth with half double crochets for a couple rounds. So, a couple rows to make a decent handle. So, anyway. Round 3. Oh, I don't want yellow. I just used yellow. Silly me. I need pink. Oh, and I'm using like scrap yarn. My yarn is like it's all 4 weight yarn. So do 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 do. Okay. With white, but I'm using pink. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 treble, and the same as the chain 1. And I'm one of those who I like to try to hide my tails as I go. That way you don't have to, wait, did it say treble? It did say treble. That means I gotta wrap it around. I almost did a double, so I gotta wrap it around twice. One, two, three. Make petal two treble cluster in the next. Oh, and a chain one. I forgot to do a chain one. So I'm gonna do two trebles. So I'm doing two trebles and a chain one with a chain one on each of these stitches all the way around. So I guess we can kind of sort of be a tutorial, but it ain't at the same time. Oop, try to do a double again. But seriously, if you just pull your tails over, then you can hide your tails while you're working, and then you don't have to worry about trying to put all your tails in later. Don't really like using plastic hooks, but I had to be fair to the product and just and use what they give me. Because normally I use aluminum hooks. Okay. Do. Chain one. Yep. I got three petals. Still got the rest to go. Of course, Miss Noni probably already knows how to do this, but because I've seen her make some pretty flowery ones. Speaking of other flowery ones, I'll show you here in a minute when we finish this stitch. Okay, I'm going to set this down for a minute. Because I think some of you missed it earlier. Oh my gosh. No! 1 moment, folks. Oy. Oh. I'm going to make a crochet pillow. Okay. In this box are a little bit of yarns that were given to me for Christmas a while back. And it came with this book of granny squares. And you could either do like a regular granny square or you could do the ones with the little flowers. So I'm doing the one with the little flowers in the center. And here they are already. Here's a bunch of them already. And I don't know what name what name these are, because they're written in that Japanese. And some of these, and also I added to it some Myra handcraft yarn and some sparkle plugs. Some handcraft yarns. This yarn from other little bitty kit projects, and I'm gonna make a bunch of squares and I'm gonna put them all together. Now that one I am using a 5mm aluminum hook with that one, but they do give instructions They do a lot of pictures and instructions in this book too, which is really, really cool. They talk about the basic granny square. They give the tutorial. Then you have a flower granny square, which is the one I'm working on. And they talk about how to stitch the granny squares together, which is nice. Oh, they also talk about wet blocking. Because, you know, some people like to block their squares and some don't. I I have foam blocking boards and I do have pins. I've never wet blocked, but I keep thinking about it. A while back though, I did buy a sprayer. It's like I gotta put some water in it, and I just kind of go, just kind of go, and then let them dry. Ooh, somebody got me this. I did not make it. This was like a store bought thing. It look, isn't that cute? He's like my little muse. It's adorable. Um, and they also talk about how to join them. The granny square ear warmer. It's basically a bunch of them to get a few of them together. And a granny square pouch. Oh, you're only using 3 squares to make this pouch. A basket, just a little basket. Maybe we'll use like 5, I think. Eyeglass case. Like a little eyeglass case. So. Thanking. Yeah, but what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to make like a little mini, like little doll blanket, or maybe, I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm just going to make a whole bunch of squares and then put them all together. That's another kit project. Actually, you know what? I can go ahead do one of their squares because they have a different. And each one of these has a whole different way of making. Because you can tell there is a difference between. A little better. I don't know. These petals aren't very well. Between this one and this one. I mean, I'm not talking about size, but the way that they're made is completely different. These are actually made with Magic Square, and I think this was like a chain 4. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. Flower granny square. Oh, they do use a magic ring. Yeah. Chain 1, make 8 single crochets. 8 singles. This one started with half doubles. This one was 8 singles. And then for the petals, chain 3, yarn over, insert hook in the same stitch, yarn over, drop loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops, repeat 2 more times. You should have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook, chain 2. Oh, so you're kind of making almost like a little puff stitch. They're almost like making like little puff stitches for the petals. They're using puff stitches almost. And then it's like almost like a granny on the outside, and then it's got like a single crochet around with like a chain 2 on the corners. So it is different than that one. And That's a whole other different thing altogether too. So anyway, back to our little pouch. I hope you guys are doing well tonight. We can make Tony sew them together. Sure. Because Noni doesn't like to sew, doesn't want to sew all her squares together. She just has fun making them, but she doesn't want to put them together. That Tony Bony Bony Momoni do that. Actually, kind of, and I don't know why this popped in my mind. If you ever watch the TV show NCIS, oh, there was a character named Tony, and he was a interesting character. He was sort of, I mean, he was a really good, he was a really good investigator, but he was also a self-proclaimed ladies' man. Will the magic loop give it power of to crochet? You know what? It just might. Yes, Denozo. Yes, Tony knows who do it. Yes, Tony Denozo. Yes. Yes. Yes, the friends. And actually, Denozo in Ziva, I think it's on one of the other streaming services, but I guess they're going to be bringing those two back together to do something similar to NCS. I guess I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to promos. I should have though. Okay. I just realized I am doing this cake from the outside instead of pulling the center one. I have a center right there. I'm a goofball. Anyway. Da-da-da. Um, I keep saying this, but I will. I just keep running out of time to do videos. I need to just sit down and just do more videos because I want to make some more of the the granny squares I have in these boxes because I have. So we have done some of them, but I need to make more that are in these boxes, and we're also going to be doing some more. I'm going to do some more tutorials from the Bella Coco's crochet stitch box. I guess I like to loom knit. This was actually a little overpriced, but I may actually make this. It's about this size actually. Latch hook. I remember making latch hook as a kid. Maybe one day we will do this on one of my lives. Now this I still cannot decide if I'm going to open. I got this at a thrift store for like $2. Whenever it was at Hobby Lobby, it was for like $6.27, but for the thrift store it was $1.99. I can't decide if I am going to open this up and make this for my daughter because she loves Pooh Bear, or if I'm going to give this to her for her to make because it's also a latch hook kit. And I don't know how well she would like the latch hook because latch hook is really quite different. So I still have to do a lot of thinking before I do that. What is the latest you stay up at night? If you want, we can take turns going live at night. Or I can go live an hour and then raid you or vice versa. That would actually be a good idea too. Um, I live in Indiana. Right now, okay, I can't see a clock in front of me. Um, be right back because I don't have a clock in my room. I don't have a clock in my craft room. I should. Well, actually, I do, but the hands broke, so it doesn't work. It just looks there. It's just there to look pretty. Be right back. I do everything on my phone, so that's why I have to go look. Right now, it's 10 till 11 my time. I don't know what time it is there for you, Noni, but it is 10 till 11. And I work, my time, I work from 1 to 9. And I usually get home because a lot of sometimes I have to go pick up my daughter from her work because she gets off before I do and she waits for me to come pick her up. So I usually get home around between 9:30 and 10 o'clock my time. So, and then, but I usually stay up pretty late because I like to catch you. Or sometimes there are other people that I catch late at night. And I try to catch lives at night. I was gonna do one this afternoon, but I took a nap because naps are just lovely, lovely things. Um, oh, they're in my bedroom, but I am working on three different blankets. Um, I have also working on a project for Decade Divas, and Decade Divas is something that the Spoony Stitcher and Craft Critters crafting critter something like that. They brainstormed and they come up with like this year it's the 70s, so you have to make a project from the 70s, and I'm one of the YouTubers that's in it. And so I have that secret project that's about done, which you guys will see later, not until like October. And get to 1K. Hun, I haven't even gotten to 500. I appreciate you wanting to get me to 1K, but I haven't even gotten to 500 yet. And I would love to just to get to 500 first of all, just to get 500 subscribers. But I also still need like a gazillion watch hours. Like I'm trying. Like I don't really need to get monetized, but at the same time, I keep seeing all these people who are like monetized, and I'm like, I would love to be monetized. I mean, I have a job and everything, but I guess it's that whole FOMO thing, and I shouldn't let that. Right now, I just have fun, or like as my late husband said when I first started doing a channel last year. He calls it a hobby. I was doing a YouTube channel a hobby. Well, crocheting is my hobby, but so is so is collecting yarn. um, and but I definitely need watch hours. That's why I would like for you guys to go back and rewatch my videos. Put your likes, comments, shares, all the things like you do for everybody, like everybody does for everybody else. Um, we could raid each other. That would be fun. Like you guys did tonight. That was really nice. And for you to just like, are you sure? Because I was gonna go and then I was like, oh, my noonie is on. I can't. I have to watch my noonie. Because she's a sweetheart. Um, like I know during in the morning, there are some lovely ladies that I like to watch who, like sometimes I'll have there's all like three, two or three in a row, and they will rate each other because a lot of times they'll go on their own. Not only they're going on each other's lives, up on each other's lives, because I think they either use StreamYard or Restream. I think they use StreamYard. I don't have StreamYard or Restream, but it's something I still have to. One of those things I have to think about. Although I mean, there's still a lot of people who still use StreamYard, but seen a lot of people who used to be on StreamYard that decided to go to Restream because it's free. Okay. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why are everybody... Do. Yeah, there should be 12 petals. What did I do wrong? If I have to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Thought I had one. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay. I'm good. That's what you get when you're talking and trying to crochet at the same time when you need so much. You lose your train of thought and what you're doing. That's why you... Alright. Got my petals. Yep. My book shut itself. My little booklet shut itself. Yep. Did the slip stitch. Oh. Okay. We got that far. Now I gotta change colors again. Now we're actually gonna... We've done this and this, and now we're gonna do this. We get to make these with troubles. These are all troubles. Everything is troubles. I'll give you trouble right here in River City. That starts with T and that rhymes with B. That stands for pool. That's a Music Man. Between a vlog and a live stream history lesson. I don't. I don't either. Just EL. Rachel. But look for me as Thrifty Crocheter. My YouTube is Thrifty Crocheter. Now Facebook, that one is under me, my name. And then I do kind of have a Facebook Thrifty Crocheter, a Facebook group page. but it's like a business page because um, years ago our church used to have a thrift store, and so I had a group page for the thrift store, but our church moved and we no longer had the thrift store, so I decided to use that thrift store page for for the Thrifty Crocheter Facebook page. Um, so okay. Now it says with purple because they used purple, so now we're going to be using whatever color you decide to use. Chain 3, 2 trebles in the same as stitch, chain 2, 3 trebles in the same stitch. That's your first corner. 3 trebles in the next 2 chain 1 spaces. Okay. Okay, so we gotta go. Start there. 1, 2, 3. Again, we're gonna hide the tails. 2 trebles. Two trebles, chain 2, and then 3 more trebles. Oh, okay. Get my yarn to cooperate. You know what? There it is. You want to know me? Well, what do you want to know? I crochet. I loom knit. I have over here a stack of other kits that are mostly amigurumi that I'm so afraid to touch because I know they don't know they're going to give me these little itty bitty hooks and not enough yarn to make the projects that are in them because they never do. But they're like, oh, but you can also make all these other projects, all these other animals and people, but they only give you enough to make one critter. And then over here, there used to be one of these monthly subscriptions called Crochet Surprise. I've made a couple of them in there, but I still need to make the rest. There's actually a couple of them that I've tried making and then I frogged like a gazillion times. Oh, good night, Tony. Good night, Tony. Um, I have 8 dummies and 14 people. And I like to hide my tails in. I do devotions every morning. Well, I try to do them every morning. If I get busy, then I will do them in the afternoon or in the evening. Like there was one day I had to do them in the evening, so therefore, um, If you saw it, you probably didn't catch them until the next day, which means you got a twofer the next day. Um, and the books that I use three books. I have the 365 Days of Kindness. I have the Daily Guidepost for Grandmothers. And the Illustrated Words of Jesus for Women. And in this one, you get to color. And oops, I just saw a page. It had my stickers in there. Yes, put in stickers. I always show you those. I always make comments. And then we end the devotion with a prayer square. Ooh, yeah. Um. Oh, prayer square. And they actually have in this bag are some more prayer squares like that one and some other ones that are maybe different. I found different um, patterns from Pinterest. I'm making some of those, and I even bought some cards and a hole punch. And I want to make more of these because one day when I was out thrift shopping, I bought this with some yarn, and I found this like all together. This was like all together, and I was like, you know what? I am going to pass this kind of thing along and make some prayer squares and send that, and just leave them out in random places for people to find. And I think that would just be make somebody's day. Um, so I do have some, and also some of them are. Yeah, I will show you. Do do do. Okay, like on Pinterest, there's some of these little itty bitty ones. That's big with bubbles. It's a lot. See, it's a lot smaller. A lot smaller. Um, and then here's one like the one I did with the attached, but it's a. I did a couple of those. More than a little bit. Oh, and I did ones like this, which kind of look Celtic to me. I did some like that. Now this one was hard to do, and I don't know. It just doesn't look very pretty. But they had one where it's a different color, and that was just like frustrating the heck out of me. Here's another one where it's kind of like a granny with like a almost like a Celtic looking cross in the center. Um, Trying to find. I know I have some crosses by themselves. Oh, yep. Here's one. It's just a cross. Here's another one. Like I have several different kinds that I have found on Pinterest. Pinterest is a great one to find a lot of free free patterns. Um, but I do have, I promise I have cards and hole punches. Um, Over here on an S loom, I have a long, very long blanket that needs to be finished. Well, actually, it could be finished now. And then also loom knitting. I'm adding to a loom knit project, loom knit blanket that I made for one of my daughters when she was little, but now she's outgrown it, so now I'm adding more panels to it. Oh, good night, Kim. I still have Noni. I still got Miss Rainbow. Still have Miss Susan. There's some more blue people. Also, I am working on a shrug that I'm going to extend down to make it to more of a cardigan. And it's from this book, The Easy Learn to Crochet in Just One Day. I got this from Half Price Books. Half Price Books lately has been having, they used to have a lot of crochet books. Now they're mostly knitting. And even when I do find the books that are knitting and crochet, I find that those type of books have more knitting projects than crochet. It's like 75% knitting and 25% crochet. That bugs me because I'm a crocheter. But that's all I'm gonna say on that much. Um, but anyway, this one is called the Square Deal Shrug. Here's the front. And there's the back. And like I said, instead of making it a shrug, which make it only go to about here, I'm going to extend it so it looks more like a cardigan. I do have some of the squares done. Let's see. Because the sleeves, you got to have squares. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Whoop. Okay. That's my bookmark. Ooh. Okay. I'm at the age now where you can get down but not necessarily get back up again. Oh. Sleeves. Oh. Okay. So these are the ones I'm making for the front half, the two sides for the front. That's this square. And then these squares, see here's the ones for the front. These go here. And then these ones are going to be the sleeves, but I have to make 4 because it's got to make, you have to use 2 of these per sleeve, so I got to make 4 of them. And I've got 1, 2, and I'm working on a third, and then I got to make a fourth to make, and then that'll have the 2 sleeves. And then I still got to make the back. So that's a whole nother different kind of granny square. I didn't even think about that. We could make those also for tonight. Because talking about all these different types of granny squares. But I also, I mean that's not a kit though. We're doing the kits. But I had to show off. If you guys wanted to just see some more things about me, know some more things about me. What's the name of the book again? Oh. The Easy Learn to Crochet in Just One Day. It says American School of Needlework. That's right. But they do have a lot of projects in it. A lot of different projects. In the projects. They have blankets and they have sweaters and belts and purses. All kinds of goodies. They do talk about how to make the different stitches. And they even talk about how to do a stitch sampler and bead crochet, working with colors, working with thread. They talk about the different parts of a hook. Um, how to read a pattern, gauge. All that fun stuff. But this is the book. And I got this from Half Price Books. But I think, like I said, I think next year I'm gonna actually start making some of these to put on my channel. But right now, when I do my devotion, I've been showing you the picture. Yeah. Like I said, I got the book at Half Price Books. I don't know if you have Half Price Books there, but that's where I bought that from. That's where a lot of my library comes from. It's from Half Price Books. And a couple of my books, when I found them, I was so happy to find because I remember checking them out at the library. Um, oh, okay. Yeah, I get distracted. Which reminds me, speaking of the library, I actually talked about this one other time on my channel. And I forgot all about that, which we may do. I have to give some thought about it first. Um, Years ago, before we had Pinterest and you could look up stuff. Well, you still could look up stuff. Um, you had to go online, or I made up these. I got a couple of two different. Oh, my daughter created this title page for me for this notebook. Hookers, whips, and chains. um, but what I did was I would go online, find some easy patterns, and print them off. And I put them in, or I would take the library books, and I went to my work. At the time we had computers that you could do that at that particular work I was at, and I would print pages off and put them in like these sleeves, these protective sleeves. Oh, good night, outlaw. I'm sorry I missed you. Um, we would maybe make some of the projects that are in these notebooks. Because like I said, I would print off stuff either online or that I found, or I would take books and make copies, and I would print them off, put them in there. Something to make. Some of them I've actually made, and some of them I haven't gotten around to, but I want to. And like I've written down, like for the sizes of blankets, crochet math to make it fit. I wrote down some different patterns. I think they were either from books or from videos I've watched, and I wrote down the information. Like, some of this notebook paper is like so old that it yellowed. The paper yellowed because I wrote it on notebook paper. But that's another idea down the road. We'd have to take it like one step at a time, like one project at a time. Take it one notebook and one project at a time. And like this one, like the one that's the beginning in this one, I don't know why I put this one first, was this purse with a zipper to it, and I've never sewn fabric. It also has like you're supposed to put like a fabric on the inside of the purse. I've never sewn fabric to crochet before. It's like I want to do it, but I'm scared to at the same time. Well, I also have one time when I bought yarn, it came with a pattern that was in here. A nice little freebie pattern. That's always nice. Like if somebody comes up with something interesting, sometimes I'll write those down. I don't know. Those are some more ideas. You also have binders? Oh, that's awesome. Yay. I'm glad I'm not alone. But I haven't printed off patterns though in a long time. This was like more than 20 years ago that I did this. Probably, yeah, because this was, I don't know, my girls may have been maybe before they were born. If they were around, they were little. But I know this was at least over 20 years ago that I did this. Yep. Instructions fell. I hope I'm not boring you guys, because I am trying. I am really trying. I'm a bit goofy, I must say. But I am trying. What did I... Okay, no, I'm good. Thought I messed up, but I didn't. Again. And you get sidetracked. You're like, okay, what was I doing? Okay, wait. Okay, yeah. Especially when you got a plastic hook that just wants to keep catching and wants to drag along. Oops. Now that time I did mess up. Because I only need 2, and I was trying to put 3. Because it's only on the corners. Okay. Okay, I have to double check something. Hang on. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, with purple. 2 trebles on the same first corner. Okay. 3 trebles. Chain 2. Oh, that's it. Oh, that's the corner. 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles. Okay, I missed something somewhere. 4. Okay, you know what? I am going to refer to this because we have a corner. Then I have 1. Oh, there are 3. I goofed. It's not 2, it's 3. Okay, I have to frog. There is 3. So there is 3 on each in each one. I messed up. My apologies. That's what I get for talking and not paying attention. Come on. Trying to do too many things at one time. Everybody like, comment, share, subscribe, all the goodies. Just like you would from Miss Noni. MDL Crochet. Hi, bud. Tonight, we are doing kits. I was showing everybody like three different ways to do crochet kits. We are working on different kits. Because we're doing this one. And I have showed before on my channel before. This is the Hill Folk square. And these are the daisy squares, or I think that's what they call them. Okay. I call them daisies, but I think they gave them a different name. Flower granny squares. But that's what we are doing. Although I have yet to do making a granny blindfolded. Oh, speaking of which, I thought it was funny. I think it's Froggy Crochet. She actually is blind, but they still wanted her to be blindfolded and crochet, which she's already blind and she crochets. But she was willing to do it, so she did it. And I just thought that was kind of redundant to make a blind person wear a blindfold while they were crocheting because they are already, I don't know. But it was part of the game, so she did it. But she was also doing it with one of her friends and on a live, so they were doing it together, and that was a lot of fun to watch. And then I know, let's see, Critters Crochet and the Spoonie Stitcher on one of their lives together. They did the same thing where they had to be blindfolded and crochet. I think Flossom Crochet on one of her videos. I know I saw her do that challenge where you're blindfolded and having to do a crochet a granny square. And it's just you're just doing 4 rounds on it. I know. I fangirled over MDL Crochet too. There are so many people out there that I fangirl over. I'm just like, ah! So I don't feel so bad. Okay, corner. 1, 2. I gotta see what I did before. Okay. Okay. Okay, corner. Okay, 2. So I have 2 sets. Okay. So this one is now a corner. So now I gotta do chain two, one, two, and this one is a corner. So here's our treble. One, two, three. Michael, I hope you are doing well. I know sometimes your arthritis bothers you, and I feel for you because I deal with arthritis too. Not so much, well, sometimes in my left hand, which is funny because I'm right handed, but in my right hand, so I get, never, I get tennis, I get carpal tunnel and tendonitis in this hand. Um, oh, thank you, Rainbow. And so sometimes this hand, my left hand will bother me, even though I'm right-handed. Yes, you are special, Michael. Um, oh, I can't show you. It's in the other room. I actually am working on oh, oh, okay. Mm, I'm sorry. Um, but I knew you had something that bothered your, that gave you pain, and I'm sorry I got that wrong. Sorry. Speaking Tunisian, I actually am working on some rectangles. I am gonna go grab that. It's over in my bedroom. This is my craft room. It's over in my bedroom. Be right back. It's actually from the channel Vintage Crochet. It actually comes from a vintage pattern. Be right back. A friend of mine at work, she decided she didn't want to use yarn anymore and do any crocheting or knitting, so she gave me her yarn. So I'm using some of her yarn and my yarn to make a blanket with a bunch of squares. But here's the square, little rectangles or squares. Then I'm doing like a single crochet border around them. But here's the Tunisian squares. And I am using. I have bamboo, Tunisian hooks, double-ended uh, crochet hooks that I'm using for this project. That's another thing I have not learned quite yet. I think I have a book. Yeah, I know I have a book somewhere in my little library over there. On how to do double-ended crochet. Like you actually have two different colors, like one in this side, one on that side. I'm gonna learn how to do that one day. I don't know if you have any videos on that, Michael, but I know I have somewhere in my library in my book there is a way to do double-ended, regular double-ended. But anyway, for this I'm using these bamboo hooks for that one. Um, and I tell you, the bamboo hooks are really, these are really nice, and I keep them in my nice little velvet pouch, and they work so well with yarn, and like these are pretty smooth, and yarn doesn't catch. These are knit knit pal is the name brand on these, but I really like these bamboo hooks. They work really really well for Tunisian crochet. But I do have several squares made. Like I said, I'm using up her yarn plus some of my own yarn, so that's why they're kind of multicolored on some of them. I just want to use some of her, what she had left of her sparkly yarn. I'm trying to use up from her yarns. I use my yarns as well. I want to, so I'm just, and I know she will appreciate it. It's going to be for her and her family, her and her kids. And it's, like I said, from my, it's called vintage, my, either Vintage Crochet or my Vintage Crochet. And there is a vintage pattern that is, comes from a vintage pattern that makes this, because it is Tunisian, but the way that it you do it is slightly different. Like it goes in the space. Let me see. Okay. Let me give you up close. Here's the back side. Here's the front side. But I don't do a whole lot of Tunisian because I'm not real good at it. But at least I'm trying. I'm trying. Mostly I'm just trying to clean my mess. So don't ignore that. Ignore that. Trying. I figure if I can get some projects done, then that'll help clear up a lot of this. One step at a time. Oh, I will. I will definitely enjoy the process. It's one of those that just kind of takes. I do actually have. What did I do with them? I do have some metal ones. Actually, here's one of them. Some of them, most of them I got from like the thrift stores. The only problem I have with a lot of these aluminums that I have that are these double-ended is that unless you have the paper that came with, like the paper product, the thingy that's attached to, that tells you the exact size these are, it's hard. They don't tell you. A lot of my aluminum ones, they don't tell you on here what size hook they are. That's what frustrates me about some of these my Tunisian hooks. Is they don't tell you what size they are, and so then I'm gonna have to compare them to my other hooks to figure out what size they are. So I don't know. Whoever makes Tunisian hooks, they need to put somewhere in the middle where what size they are. I don't know. But that would be nice. Otherwise, how am I supposed to know? Like I can't just label it and like for eternity because I have to then I have to take the label off to I don't know. That's my only frustration with some of my aluminum. I do have a few Tunisian aluminum Tunisian hooks. I keep on saying metal. Well, aluminum is a kind of metal, but it's not. It's not like they're steel because steel hooks are a whole nother deal. Oh, no, I can't talk about that one. But steel hooks is another avenue I would like to try one day because I do actually have a whole shelf back there, actually two shelves, of crochet thread or on cones. It's another thing I'm going to try one day. And because some of those can be, the biggest one is a size 00, and it's about the size, the 3.5 millimeter. It's about the size of like a F, I think, or a G, or smaller. But anyway, it's similar to one of the other hooks. Yeah, thank you, Michael. Thank you. Yes, they really should put some kind of stamping on them so people know what size they are. Um, but for as long as you've been doing it, you probably just know. Whereas I'm kind of a beginner at Tunisian, and it would be nice if it had sizing on there so that whenever I want to do it, then I know exactly what size to grab for. So I can make sure to grab the right one. Oh my goodness, I've been on here almost for an hour and 20 minutes. I didn't realize it's been that long. And I'm just yakking away and not paying attention and just crocheting. And people wanted to know some things about me, so I told some things about me, some things that I'm working on, and sent them some things that we're going to be doing. Like I'm still going to be doing devotions, and I'm going to be doing. I've got some of them made already, but we're kind of behind, so we're going to be making some more of these squares, these granny squares. Um, and I have some tutorials on crochet stitches, but we're going to be doing some more of these. So there'll be more tutorials on stitches. And um, next year, and then what I'm going to do is after we are done making all of these. You're still here, Nani! Yay! After we are done making all of these, then we're gonna put them together to make a fabulous blanket. Um, also, um, also lately on my devotions, I've been showing you. This is I bought this from Michael's. Speaking of Michael's, at Michael's, they had a perpetual calendar. And for each day, they have, like for the month of September, they're doing motifs. And each month they're doing something different, whether it's a motif or it's a stitch pattern. Hey, Lady Crochet! So I think next year I'm gonna actually use this as a tutorial, but for now I'm just showing off the picture. And what is amazing about some of these motifs, um, most of these are just one page, but some of these motifs have taken up two whole pages to show of instructions to make the motifs. And some of these motifs you have to use a magic circle because I mean they explain that, but I'm not very good at. I get frustrated with magic circles because sometimes they cooperate and a lot of times they don't. So I just use a chain 4. Um, but I think after next year I'm going to be adding these as tutorials. So we're looking forward to that next year. Because I didn't want to start in the middle of the year and then no, we're just gonna. But I am going to be showing pictures. This is a pretty cool. If you want to learn how to do any kind of motifs or stitches, I would get it. It's worth the money because it's a little pricey. I remember I think it was like 20. I think it was like $20 or something like that. I don't remember now because it's been a little while. But personally, I think it's worth it. Especially if you want to learn to do motifs and stitches. Um, Speaking of motifs, is this the one? Here's another one neat one that I got from Half Price Books. Go Crochet Afghan Design Workbook. 50 motifs, 10 projects, one of a kind result. This one had a lot of motifs in it too. I had thought about doing tutorials on these motifs because they got some really interesting motifs. Lots and lots of motifs. Every page is a motif of some sort. Whether there were triangles, hexagons, octagons, um, and then it has and then the back it has all the different blankets, floral ones, um, triangles. Um, One of the cool things in this book, in this particular book, and I just lost my page. Oh, here we go. For making blankets with the motifs, they like this one's on rectangles. It shows you different ways that you can put them together. Um, and they do the same thing with each of the different shapes. Like here's the ones for the triangles. See, they show you how to put them together, which was really smart idea for this book. Oh, another thing that they do in this book for each of the motifs um, is they will not only do they show you the motif, but they do a mix and match like other types of motifs that can go with this to to make like a blanket or whatever you want to make. But these other different um, types of motifs go well with that one. If you want to mix and match, that's pretty smart. Um, I've never seen a book that did that. I think that's a pretty smart idea. And then there's Manuela. She's another nice lady. And I think all of you lovely people who've been listening to me chit chat for an hour and a half. um, but my little sign up in the window says, "Bless this mess." Yes, bless this mess. Just gonna be making little projects to get her. Oh, okay, I'm sidetracked again. Okay, this was actually crochet thread. I used 3 different colors, and then I just crocheted a very long chain. I don't know. I don't remember how long this was, but this was like really long. And then I caked it, and then long while later, I found yarn that practically matches it. Look at that. Similar thickness, not quite the same softness, but I might have to make something small, put these two together, and make something together. I think that would be pretty cool. Um, I was trying to make like there's that one one kind of yarn. It's not really called chain link, but it kind of looks like it's like somebody's already made a chain and then the starting chain for you, and then you make a. I don't know what the name of that yarn is, but it's like that kind of yarn. I was trying to imitate that, and then I did the same thing with some more my crochet thread where I just made like a huge chain and then I caked up the chain. So I've made 2 of them. And I kind of call it my own yarn. It's not really a yarn per se, but I kind of wanted to create my own little idea. um, they're probably going to stay here on my desk. This would be something fun to look at. Um, oh, Rainbow says she'll be right back. But it is late. I haven't even finished the square. I've been doing too much talking. We never got around to making one of these. Or one of those. Oof. One of those. But I did talk about them and how to make them. Kind of. There are so many ways to make squares. I think Miss Noni the other day, that's all she was doing. She was making a whole mess of squares. Oh, something else I like to do that from our childhood. I just finished one on one of my videos the other day. Is this. You make pot holders with the loops. I still like to do those occasionally. I still have fun making those. This is metal. I do have a couple of the plastic ones. I don't like the plastic ones as much because they tend to bend and break, whereas the metal ones don't. So, yeah, I still like to play around with that. And then underneath the camera here, I actually have a project for Decade Divas. My original project got destroyed because my dog decided to use it as a chew toy, which that made me very, very mad because it was done. So I had to hurry up and make something else. Part of it. So I can have something to call it done. But yeah. And when Decade Divas is over, then I will show you it. But I have to wait till then. So that's a secret project. But until then, because it's been an hour and a half, and I have talked really, really long. And it's late. Especially late for me. Because I have to go to work tomorrow. My dad has to go to work tomorrow. But we are both off this weekend. If I get a chance this weekend, I will try to go live during the day. And if not, I will try to come on at night again. I am going to try to get some more tutorials up for the granny squares and for the stitches. Oh, these stitches. These Bella Coco stitches. What's neat is in here they have these stitch conversions and hook sizes. And they've divided them up between simple stitch combinations, which are the blue cards, and then the yellow cards are textured stitches. And then they don't really show the picture of the stitch, but they do this close up. And for each one, they have a skill level and the multiples and the stitches used, and then the instructions are on the back. And for some of them, it'll tell you there's a special stitch. And on the simple stitch combinations, we already have gone through. Through most of that deck. We've only have like about 5 or 6 left on that one before we get into the textured stitches. So that's going to be a lot of fun. There is a playlist of the stitches. There's playlist of the grannies. There's playlist of my devotionals. I need to go back and add some more of my devotionals to it. I also have a small playlist of one of my subbies. Um, it was a bookstore. I bought all my cards from the bookstore. I'm trying to think of the bookstore now, and it's driving me because it's in our mall, the store. My mind's completely blank because I'm tired. But I know I had to wait on the flower one because the flower one came out way later than the granny regular granny one. Um, but one of my subscribers has been sending me um, other verses that she thinks of when she hears my devotions. And anytime you listen to watch my videos on the devotions, and it reminds you of something, another verse, please put those in the comments because I was putting them on little pieces of paper, and I end up having to put them on, rewriting them and putting them on notebook paper. And I already have two whole sheets full, and I'm starting a third. And if you go back and look at my videos, I have been reading said verses with one of my Bibles, and I'm also going to be doing that as well. Um, so I keep trying to say goodbye, and I keep talking more and more. 10 dummies and 10 people. Woohoo! Like, comment, share, subscribe. Uh, oh, I want to say Borders, I think is the name of the bookstore. I could be wrong. I don't know if they even still have them in the bookstore anymore. Because I think the last time I went in there to go look, they were gone. Even in Borders, there used to have a lot of crochet books, but now they don't have quite so many. Now it's mostly kits, and their kits are like 10, $12 a throw. Um, I mean, they're nice little kits and they're nice for beginners, but at the same time, they don't give you really enough yarn, and they always give you these little teeny little hooks to go with their teeny tiny threads. I mean, it's not crochet thread, but it is skinny yarn. It's like, because this came with the one, the green crochet. It came with this kind of yarn, and some of it's even smaller. And sometimes they give you enough, and sometimes a lot of times they don't, which really bugs the heck out of me. And then they're like, "Oh, you can make all these other projects." Well, they give you enough yarn to make one project, not all of them. So then you're using your own yarn, which means you can make it something that's this little with their thread, and then with your own yarn, it would be like this big. So yeah, that's what bugs me. But I do. But even if I make them, I like to keep. Sometimes I'll keep the little books that way if I want to make it again. Then I can always make it again. Um, but I haven't made these kits. I have a whole stack of kits because one year for Christmas, that's all I wanted was kits, and so I got a whole mess of those kits. And I need to make them, but I. Oh, thank you, Lady Crochet. Thank you. I'm just a little channel. I'm a little baby, little baby channel. I've only been doing this channel for a little over a year now. Be like next year, about Easter time, it'll be like 2 years. But so thank you, Lady Crochet. That means so much that you're proud of me because I'm doing what little bit I can. And I am trying. I'm trying. I'm not as good as all these big channels, but I try. I try. I just need like a gazillion watch hours, I need more subscribers. Um, go spread the word I'm out there, please. Because when you guys are having your lives, I always try to give my thumbs up as well. You shared me on your channel. Oh, thank you. You're the first person to tell me that. Yay! I feel loved. Thank you. Um, would everybody like, comment, share, subscribe? Like I said, whenever I watch other people's lives, I always make sure to hit the thummies. And usually I'm watching it on both my phone and on my TV, so I put the thummies on both to make sure everybody gets all their thummies. Um, and I try to watch other people's videos. I've watched too many. I've subscribed. I mean, like everybody else, you know, you have a lot of people that you subscribe to and a lot of people that you watch their lives. And I try to catch as many lives that I can. Oh, you had fun tonight, Susan? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, we got to help each other out. I certainly agree. I certainly agree. Um, didn't quite finish my square, but I will get it finished tomorrow. We'll get some more squares. Man, I'm gonna make different colored squares because in this project they had the flowers be all the same color, but I'm gonna make this pouch with different colored flowers. So I'm gonna have the center always be yellow, and the pouch itself is always gonna be this burgundy color, burgundy red color. Um, and it's gonna be real pretty. I'm gonna give it to my granddaughter, my step granddaughter. So I know she will love it. So with that, you know what? Just to have some fun. I'm gonna end this. It's almost 2 hours now. See, this is what I haven't watched in a while. One of the YouTubers that I would watch. I forget what country she's from, but she used to sit there and chat like all day. I swear, I was like all day. She would just sit there and crochet and chit chat with everybody all day long, or at least half the day. Um, I can't remember her name. I haven't watched her in a while because I haven't seen her on YouTube in a while, so I hope she's still on. But that's what I would like to do. If I ever had the time, I would love to be able to just chit chat with you guys all day and crochet all day and get caught up. Like on one of my weekends off, like on a Saturday off, if I had the time, I would do this like all day long. Just chit chat with everybody, whoever comes on, and crochet and make some projects with you and just have a grand old time. That's one of my hopes to do between now, the end of this year, or next year. So, um, and maybe play some music in the background. I know YouTube doesn't really like that so much, but I don't care what YouTube likes. I care what I like. But anyway, oh, our prayer square. We're gonna end this night with a prayer square because it's way past bedtime. This small swatch of yarn has been woven with prayers. As you hold this swatch in your hand, may you feel God's strength, love, and peace flow and know that He holds you in His hands. May God bless and comfort you in your time of need and give you peace. Amen. Love you all. Bye.